Hello, hello. Welcome to the PG-ish podcast. I'm Erin with your parental guidance to help you grow yourself as a parent and raise healthy, happy, and successful humans. Today's episode is more a reminder for me than anything, and I hope you can glean something from it. If you've been around here a while, you may know that I tend not to watch a lot of TV. But when I do end up finding a show, I'm all in, like 100% invested for hours. And of course, in the era of binge watching, it's easy enough to do. Yet for me, since I'm typically coming to the show years after it aired, I usually have like 5 to 6 seasons to catch up on at my disposal. It's dangerous. And you know how it goes. Despite having the running to-do list, sometimes there are days, maybe weeks, when you don't feel like doing anything. You just want to shed your responsibilities and tune out. Or maybe this is like the 9 to 11 p.m. hours when your kiddos go to sleep. But for me lately, I cannot wait for my kids to go to bed so that I can just jump in to the nonsense that's happening at the Mirabella. Yes, I have been sucked in to the telenova reality of Jane the Virgin. It is utterly ridiculous, but I love it. And every now and then there are magical nuggets about parenting, especially single parenting. And I feel so seen. Who knew, right? But I definitely commend the writer of the show for that. Okay, all of that is beside the point. As adults, we have things to do, kiddos to raise, jobs to maintain, and goals to reach. While yes, please make time to relax and take care of yourself, at some point, you have to be the adult and you gotta show up in one degree or another. In these moments, especially those sticky moments when it's hard to get motivated, it's important to be patient with yourself. But it's equally important to create good systems of discipline and consistency, which are key in achieving your desired results. Jocko Willink is back to explain his famous phrase, discipline equals freedom. Here's Jocko.
I mean, fundamentally, and this is so easy and so hard. You know, people say, how can I get discipline in my life? And I tell them, step number 1 is wake up early. And I know people don't want to do it. It's harsh. I know that your alarm clock is, your most hated object in your bedroom. I get that. But here's the deal with getting up early in the morning. When you get up early in the morning, if you can get up before the rest of the world is awake, right? Before the enemy's awake, before the rest of the world is awake, you can get so much done. You're so much more productive without your phone going off, without people sending you emails and texting you or calling you. And you wake up in the morning, there's just quiet. And you can get things done. And you should do things, and I do things in the morning that I know they're a priority for my life, but maybe they're not a priority for that day. Right? So, like for instance, working out, you gotta work out every day. You gotta stay in shape. If you don't stay in shape, you die. Right? So, you gotta stay in shape. But working out might not be a priority for every single day because you've got things going on in your business world and with your family and all that. So, guess what? It's a priority for my life, so I do it in the morning before my day even starts. So I can still handle the priorities for the day, but I got my workout done. So long term, I look up in a year and I'm not out of shape and breathing hard when I go up in the stairs because I maintain that discipline on a daily basis. So I think getting up early, I think doing some kind of exercise every day. I don't care what it is. You just have to do something. You have to do something physical. It's scientifically proven with not only bro science, but also real science that waking up early or that doing physical exercise every day, it tunes your mind. It puts more oxygen in your blood, in your brain. It is absolutely makes you think more clearly. So waking up early, working out every day. If you start with those 2 kind of cornerstones, and then the other thing is, figure out what you're going to do during the day. Don't go to bed without a plan of how you're going to handle the next day. I have a schedule and I execute the schedule, and that's what you need to do. Now, you actually said that my time is very structured, and it's actually a little bit not true. Parts of my day are very structured. Parts of my day are very disciplined, which gives me freedom in other parts of the day. And as a matter of fact, sometimes people will get, okay, I'm gonna run a disciplined time management schedule. So they schedule every single minute of the day. And I don't recommend that. Just like I wouldn't recommend conducting a SEAL operation where your timeline is so tight that there's no room for error. Because that's not a possibility. You're gonna have errors, things are gonna go wrong, vehicles are gonna break, boats are gonna break, people are gonna get lost, you're gonna take a wrong turn, and so you're gonna need extra time. And it's the same thing with your day. If you schedule, 16 hours of your day, you're not gonna hit all your targets. But if you look at your work day, and you've got an 8-hour work day where you're gonna be in your office, and you schedule 4 or 5 of those hours, and you have 3 hours that you're gonna fill in, and you're gonna put important things into those as they come up, that is a much better way to be successful with running a time management on your life. And so, I only schedule hardcore, like 4 hours a day. The other hours, I'm picking up, I'm getting phone calls, I'm adapting and maneuvering on other things that need to be executed on. But what is important? Those 4 hours, they get done. They get done. And that's the difference between finishing writing a book and not finishing writing a book. Because, when I write a book, I write 1,000 words a day. It takes me about an hour. That's what I do. I write 1,000 words a day. And in 30 days, you got 30,000 words. And in 60 days, you got 60,000 words. And in 90 days, you got 90,000 words. And that's a book. That's 3 months. And it took you an hour a day. And that's exactly what I did with the books that I've written. And it's the same thing with physical fitness. You don't get in amazing shape in this short amount of time. But you get in amazing shape in a short amount of time, day after day after day after day. And that's where discipline comes in on both those subjects. And I guess I'm genetically what's called a short sleeper. And people have sent me all these articles about it because I don't sleep a lot. And I'm not advocating because it's unhealthy to not sleep enough, and if you need 8 hours, go to bed earlier. But, and I'm not saying you need to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I am saying this. You know when you are guilty of wasting time and laying in bed and you're being lazy. You know it. Whether that was 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, you know it. And the other thing that we do is, if you want to wake up early in the morning, go to bed earlier. Well, that's real simple to say, but it's hard to do. It's hard to do, number one, when you're looking at your phone. It's hard to do when you're staring at your computer screen. It's hard to do when you're watching TV. Those things are meant. They're designed to make you keep looking at them. And so you do. So what you need to do is turn those things off and try and go to bed. Now, the first night, you're going to have a hard time going to sleep. What you do is the next morning, you wake up early anyways. That first night, you only got 5 hours worth of sleep, and now you're tired throughout the day. Good. Because then when you get to bed that night, you will turn off that computer, and you'll be able to go to bed earlier like you wanted to. So you have to start the cycle of waking up early by waking up early. You can't start the cycle by going to sleep early. Well, again, you have to carve out time for your family. And you have to, another huge thing I talk about is balance, right? You have to have balance. And if you get out of balance in one direction or the other, and a classic example, because I'll have some people that say, I'm just not spending enough time with my family and I'm working too much, and so I'm just going to focus on my family. Okay. Well, let's follow that to the end. What happens is you focus on your family, and now you're not performing well at your job, and now maybe you're not getting promoted and you're not making more money, or maybe you're even getting fired, or you're not doing as well financially, so you can't provide the financial security for your family, which is actually going to cause more stress and will impact negatively your family. So if you focus too much on your family, you're actually doing them a disservice. And I know that's hard to understand. The same thing in the other direction. Hey, I'm going to take care of my family. My family's my number one priority, so I got to get them financially secured. So I'm going to focus on my work and focus on my work and focus on my work. And we know what happens there. So what you have to do is balance. And if you get drawn too much to where you're working all the time and you disregard your family, you're going to lose your family. And then if you go the other direction, you're focused on your job too much, or you focus on your family too much, you're going to lose your job. And by the way, you're going to end up losing your family anyways. So you've got to find the balance. You've got to look at that every single day. You've got to know when to shut off your phone. And, that's a hard one for all of us because we're all expecting the big call to come in. Of course, it's going to come during dinner with my family, so I have to look at my phone right now. No. There's no one that's calling you that you need to talk to in the next 45 minutes while you're sitting with your family. It's not going to happen. Go recharge your phone.
Okay. While routines may not appeal to everyone, having a loose schedule which allows for errors and joy, don't forget about that, can provide freedom as it eliminates decision fatigue. Similar to having a financial plan to achieve financial stability, Learning to say no to activities that have no return on investment is necessary. One disclaimer, you do you. I do see value in getting up early, but hey, if that's not your jam, find the flow that works for you. Get to know your chronotype and your cycle so that balance comes easier. Okay, that last bit, that might have been a lot, I know. And I actually break this down more in my Reary to Revived class. So if you're looking for more guidance, go sign up on my website at pghparenting.com/events. Alrighty, enough yakking. If you want to listen to the full talk with Jocko, head over to YouTube and search for Why Discipline Equals Freedom with Success Magazine. In the show notes, you can find a link to the talk and one of his books, Leadership Strategy and Tactics. All right, my friend, thanks again for joining me today. If you're enjoying PGish, please subscribe and leave a comment or review on Apple Podcasts so that more parents can grow alongside their kiddos like you. See you next time.